top tip. Hey, good morning, it's Tony from A&E Construction. You're watching Build with A&E, and today we're going to teach you how to fit window boards. Well, how I fit window boards anyway. We've got a window board coming into here, we've got a lovely bevel joint, and then runs all the way along here, another bevel joint here, and then it reveals into the plasterwork there. We're going to do these in oak. Originally it was softwood, but the clients decided that they want them in oak to match the staircase, to match the parquet floor. So what we'll do, we'll go through all the steps that we do. We'll chase out this and chase this section out to get the nosing into here so it fits in beautifully. Same on the other side there. We'll tongue it into here, onto that point there, which will allow us then to make sure if there's any shrinkage, we don't then have any gaps. I hate fitting window boards with no grooves on. I always end up routering out the back of the sills. So what will happen is I'll get some template material, a bit of MDF because it's oak, and then what I'll do, I'll make it quite wide, and then I'll cut an angle, use the bevel finder or a couple of bevels, and then what I'll do is put the two sheets together and get the same angle and the same over there. Hopefully they should be the same, both of them, and I'll then keep marrying them. So basically if this was like say 30 degrees, this angle of this cut here, I'd want this angle here to be 30 degrees as well. I wouldn't want that one to be 27 and this one be 33, or you know, I'd want it to be exactly the same, because then I know when it comes all the way through, the two nosings meet absolutely perfect. The tools that you need is a bevel, pencil, a couple of bits of MDF board. You can actually see the shape, what the window board's gonna look like. What I'm gonna do now is take the bevel on there, you see? That's how I do it. Yeah, bevel, take the whole big bevel so it's nice all the way through, and then I'll tighten that up. This represents the bevel of that bay, okay? And what I do from there, grab my two boards like this, set that bevel. Draw the line through like that. What happens, you can see when I put this MDF here flush with the back of where the bevel was, because the bevel was on the back here like this, nice and flush. Just double check it. That old saying, if it feels right, it is right. So it feels lovely and flush. Feels lovely and flush. So I'm going to draw this now, and it's because this and this other piece of material here are exactly the same width. Okay, so what I'll then do is I'll get this other bit of MDF and I'll line it through here with that pencil line. You see that pencil line all the way through here like this, and then mark the other side. You can see a crossover point there, can't you? So basically from this point here to this point here, I'm now going to draw a line. Meet these two up like that. Now, the reason I do it this way, it's the way I've been taught. I know people have other ways and other methods, but I do it this way because I just think it works really, really well for me. What I'll do is bring my bevel up, like that, up to the pencil line. So I've got it now set where I want. So you can see the edge of the bevel with this line here. Set this saw up now to that bevel. So, and what I do is I use this line here when I'm setting the bevel up, because I know the saw blade is pretty much, well, it's absolutely spot on in the center here. I set the bevel up to this line here, you see all the way through here, that's the line I use. I will machine these two bits the same angle. When you look at this here, that template goes flush here, flush there, flush in the back, push it to the pencil line. Now this tells me whether I've got the angle correct. See it there, here. You can just see here, now with that first cut where I thought I dyed it through, you see this line lovely here, it's perfect just here, but look, see this line is running off. You can imagine it's running off by 5 mil, so from just that distance from there to there, it's run out 5 mil. So that tells me I've got to move it to this distance here like that, but then you can see the gap I've got. So just over this small amount is giving me this gap, and I don't want that in the front of the window board. So what I would now do is look at the degree over here. Now I've got it on You can't believe we've got the Hoover on this, can you? So look at the degree here, and the actual degree reads 22 3/4. So looking at that, I've got to take a little bit more at the back here, only fractionally. So when I come to this here, I've got to take a little bit more off this back here. So that means I've got to actually come across. So I think if I went to 23, see that I just turned it to 23, this there. There you go. Right, let's try that. Same again, guys. Line it up. Make sure the back of this is nice and flush up to the joint. It's nice, good there. Right, let's try this one, running that way. There we go, absolutely perfect. Lovely joint here now, really nice and tight. And it looks lovely on that pencil line, you see it there? Lovely on that pencil line there, I'm really happy with that. So what we'll do now is offer that up to the window board, and hopefully when I put in the grooves, it's pretty close. If it's not, I'll then tweak it a little bit again on the saw until I'm really happy with this angle. Hopefully then check on the other side of the window board, because the window board does this, and this, so I'm doing this angle. Hopefully this angle here will be the same as this angle, but I'll check now with this template. If it is, that means I can do the final measure with my window boards and then not make a mistake with the oak window boards. Okay guys, what I've done is the template, which was the template over here. So when the two of these come together, they work really nicely on the angle that's required. And then also I've done a template then of the side wing. I've actually cut the correct width of the board, which is 360mm. I've then come 90 degrees off on the window line, and then I've actually then done the angle, and that actually represents then this bit here. Because what happens when this board then goes in up here, you can actually see it goes into that line, into here like that, and then just goes into the plaster line, which is really important. I always like to plaster my window boards in. I don't like to not plaster them in. We'll cut all of these. We'll then literally, the next process will be to sand them, stain them, oil them. So if there's any movement on this back tongue, it then keeps the consistency of the colour. So guys, what we're doing at the moment, we're literally just cutting the oak window boards to the width. We need 360mm, so I've just cut this board, and then we've also cut this board. Phil's just putting the nosings on now here, all the way around, the nosings in there, and we set the router up, clamping it down here at the moment. So on this board now, got the Makita router, I'm going to be using that, just putting the nosing on this side. What's going to happen, this is going to be the bigger board because the graining on this is a lot nicer. This is still a beautiful board, but it'd be better to cut this down for the small wings of the window board over there. So Phil's just doing that now. Really nice for this. So a nice little system going on here. I'm putting biscuit joints in. We used a Festool biscuiter. You're probably thinking, wow, it's got loads of biscuits in there, but to be honest, I was taught a long time ago, we normally put tongues in, then obviously biscuits then came out, but I do like to put quite a few in just to make sure the joint's really good. The other thing I always do is I never put the glue into here when I put them first in dry. I just squeeze the glue into there afterwards, because I like to make sure that it goes back and then doesn't create an air pocket. And it's the same in the other one. I'll actually won't put the glue into the biscuit, I'll actually put it on top of these biscuits. That's what I'll do. These biscuits here go really quite nice and tight as well, which is really cool. And I'll just push them in to the center of the line. If you need to that tight, you just give them a bit of a tap. Like that. There we go, and then what will happen, this then will come over here, and then because I've lined them all up like this, the whole thing will come together really nicely. Put a load of glue in. I won't tap it in now because once it's in it gets really quite tight. So I'll put loads of glue along here, loads of glue touch on the edge and there, and then tap her in. One thing I do is I'll run a nice bead of glue all the way along. As I wipe it, you can see some glue. I like to wipe it and cover all the surface. Just make sure I've got a good adhesion. Get nice little wooden packer here like this. Clamp it up really well here so it can't move. There we go. A bit of a tap now. Starting to line up the lines, you can see. So what I'm going to do now is put the sash clamp in this corner point here now. So what we're going to do now, we'll put a clamp on here to clamp this down. And if need to, we'll just drill a hole in here and then clamp it down at the front as well. But you can see how nice and tight it's come together now. The key is not to panic. Don't panic. So we've got it clamped together, held down. It's nice and flat across there, which is really, really important. Keep it really nice and flat. So you can see it's lovely now the way it's all gone together. And then we can sand it all up in one go. Beautiful. So it's really, really strong. Clamp on there, clamp at the end here. So all we're going to do now is going to do exactly the same, repeat exactly the same. The only thing we're going to do is take this off. This is too weak. It needs to be a proper G clamp like this. It's like really strong. These are really, really strong. Make sure it's nice and clean under there. The other thing is, because I've got it on trestles, I know that the trestle is supported in the right location, so it doesn't bend my ply out the way.